the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
17th IB, PNP, and CAFGU hold successful joint simulation in Cagayan. Philippine Army warns public against fake AI-generated recruitment video. DSWD extends 2.2 million pesos aid to families affected by Typhoon Mirasol. DILG reports 94% efficiency in new unified 911 system. Hello to everyone, especially to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo in Quezon City. Today is Friday, September 19, and this is AFP Committee News, your source for the updates on the armed forces and other developments across the country. I am Rofh Suzon-Abay here to bring you today's stories.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our news, the 17th Infantry Battalion, Philippine National Police 204th Maneuver Company, and CAFGU Active Auxiliary from Nangiliatan Patrol Base conducted a practical simulation exercise in Barangay Nangiliatan, Peña Blanca, Cagayan. The drill simulated joint operations against lawless groups, strengthening tactical coordination and responsiveness. No casualties or injuries were reported and emphasized the professionalism of participating forces. The exercise reaffirmed their unity in safeguarding communities and addressing security threats in the region.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
An AI-generated video spreading false information about the Philippine Army's recruitment process has surfaced online. The video uses manipulated visuals and voiceovers to mislead viewers and discredit the Army's recruitment efforts. Army officials urge the public to remain vigilant against such deceptive AI content. They emphasize that accurate recruitment details are available only through official Philippine Army channels.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more updates from Shaira about AFP Opens Financial Management Course Class 36-2025.
Yes, good afternoon. The Armed Forces of the Philippines, through the Office of the Deputy Chief of Staff for Financial Management OJ-10, formally opened the AFP Financial Management Course Class 36-2025. The ceremony was led by AFP Vice Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Jimmy De La Rida and graced by Major General Francis Anthony M. Coronel, Deputy Chief of Staff for Financial Management J-10. 50 participants from the AFP, Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, Philippine Coast Guard, and Bureau of Fire Protection comprise the class, which will run until December 12. The AFP stressed its commitment in strengthening financial accountability and efficient fund management in public service. This is Shai Rivera reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Shaira.
DWDD National News.
For our national news, the Department of Social Welfare and Development immediately delivered 2.2 million pesos worth of humanitarian assistance, including family food packs to provinces hit by Typhoon Mirasol. The agency reported that 21,592 families, or more than 78,000 individuals across the 6 regions, have been affected by the storm. Over 300 individuals remain in evacuation centers, while nearly 8,000 are staying with relatives. The DSWD also confirmed that 5 houses were totally destroyed and 4 others partially damaged.
DWDD National News.
The Philippine National Police has intensified preparations to secure the Bangsamoro parliamentary elections on October 13. Acting PNP Chief Lieutenant General Jose Melencio Nartates Jr. assured the strict monitoring to prevent election-related violence, especially in historically volatile areas. The said force has already confiscated 24 firearms and explosives and arrested 16 individuals since the gun ban began last August 14. Authorities have set up 14,000 checkpoints across BARM, with more expected before the election day.
Armed Forces Radio.
From our report on the ground, let us hear the report of Kath about the UK's 6 naval drills with Philippines.
Yes, Rofh, good noon. Defense Secretary Gilbert Chidoro Jr. confirmed that the United Kingdom expressed interest in participating in multilateral maritime exercise in the West Philippine Sea. This came after discussions on negotiating a status of visiting forces agreement with the Philippines. He said the move will strengthen defense ties, noting that the UK would be the second European nation to pursue such an agreement with Manila. He emphasized that London's initiative signals strong support for the UNCLOS, international law, and the 2016 Arbitral Award. This is Kat reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Kath.
DWDD National News.
The Department of the Interior and Local Government recorded a 94.42% efficiency rate following the launch of the Unified 911 system last September 11. On its first day, the Emergency 911 National Call Center received 60,323 calls, of which 57,786 were successfully handled, averaging 61,000 calls daily. The DIL reported that 3,537 calls were identified as tests, abandoned, or prank calls. Secretary John Vic Remulla warned prank callers that such calls will be archived and deprioritized, urging the public to use 911 responsibly for genuine emergencies.
DWDD National News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ordered the opening of more food banks nationwide as part of his administration's push to end involuntary hunger in the country. The president issued the directive after he joined volunteers in serving meals at the Walang Gutom Kitchen in Pasay City. Marcos, joined by Social Welfare Secretary Rex Gatchalian, dined with some indigent families and street dwellers. Gatchalian said Marcos visited the Walang Gutom Kitchen to check the operations of the food bank. He explained that the president has made it mission number 1 of DSWD to end hunger, and the kitchen is part and parcel of achieving that goal, adding that the president wants them to open more food banks and soup kitchens nationwide.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let's hear more from Marian about the ND host Balangay Forum to strengthen maritime security and heritage.
The Department of National Defense hosted the second Balangay Forum in line with Maritime Archipelagic Nation Awareness Month, or MANAMO. Led by Undersecretary Ignacio Madriaga, the forum gathered defense officials, experts, and community leaders to discuss protecting Philippine waters and preserving maritime heritage. Panel discussions tackled grassroots movements, maritime deterrence, and the potentials of the Philippine blue economy. The DND emphasized that the forum aims to raise public awareness and drive collective action in safeguarding sovereignty and maritime interests. This is Marian reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Marian.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Foreign Affairs has formally filed a diplomatic protest against China's recent water cannoning of a Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources vessel at the Bajo de Masinloc. This was confirmed by DFA spokesperson Angelica Escalona. Meanwhile, the New Zealand Embassy in Manila and Canadian Ambassador David Hartman also expressed their concerns over the latest incident. In a statement, the Embassy of New Zealand said they are concerned by dangerous actions by Chinese vessels at Scarborough Shoal, damaging the Philippine vessels and injuring personnel. It added that such actions threaten lives and safety while calling for the peaceful resolution of disputes in accordance with the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea.
DWDD National News.
More than 2,000 job seekers were hired outright during the Department of Labor and Employment's recent nationwide job fair. Labor Secretary Benvenido Laguesma said 2,297 out of the total 14,248 registered job seekers were hired on the spot. 57 of them were senior high school graduates and 24 were tulong panghanap buhay sa ating disadvantaged workers beneficiaries. Laguesma emphasized that they will continue to work with the public and private sector partners to ensure that the workforce is competitive and adaptive in a constantly evolving global economy.
Armed Forces Radio.
Some information from Mike about Philippine Army Armor School strengthens tie with Thai Cavalry Center.
Major General Sumsak Raksaseng, commander of the Cavalry Center in Saraburi, welcomed Lieutenant Colonel Lourdes Claveria, commandant of the Armor School, Philippine Army, and her faculty during a bilateral visit in Thailand. The Philippine delegation received a briefing on the Cavalry Center's mission, structure, and training system. They also explored historic and modern armored vehicles while observing advanced training equipment. The visit reinforced mutual learning and commitment in enhancing armored infantry capabilities between the two armies. This is Mike reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Mike.
DWDD National News.
The Philippines and Hungary reaffirmed their strong bilateral relations following the courtesy visit of Overseas Workers Welfare Administration Administrator Patricia Yvonne Kaunan to Budapest. OWA said Kaunan met with Hungarian State Secretary Yes Boglarka, wherein they focused on migrant worker support and bilateral cooperation. In a separate post, Boglarka underscored the significance of the Central European Regional Center established in Budapest in 2024 in strengthening the ties between the two nations. Since its opening, the hub has provided vital services to overseas Filipino workers across Europe, further cementing Hungary's role as a partner in migrant welfare.
DWDD National News.
Department of Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla assured that they will pursue the filing of cases against those involved in the delivery of ghost and substandard flood control projects soon. At the resumption of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee's probe into the controversy, Remulla said the agency has already collated 5 cases and sent these to the National Bureau of Investigation. The DOJ chief explained that they will file complaints on the ghost projects first, then the severely substandard projects will come next. Remulla also assured that the Justice Department will do its best to expedite the filing of cases.
Armed Forces Radio.
From NOLCOM, let us hear some information from Joanne about 5th IDP's program aids hundreds of beneficiaries in Northern Luzon.
A total of 600 trainees of the Partnership for Education and Community Empowerment, or PEACE program, of the 5th Infantry Division Philippine Army and its partner stakeholders have successfully completed their comprehensive training for employment. 5th ID Commander Major General Gulliver Señores, along with key officials, led the awarding of certificates during the graduation ceremony on September 17 in Baguio City. Señores hoped that with the program, beneficiaries are future-ready and could land jobs within and outside the country that will help them and their families. Beneficiaries also expressed gratefulness for the program and look forward to landing a job. The PEACE program is a flagship initiative of the 5th ID Philippine Army with the Career Builders Skills Training and Assessment Center Incorporated, which seeks to provide training to employment opportunities for friends rescued, indigenous peoples, military dependents, and communities in geographically isolated and conflict-affected areas, among others. This is John Sagak reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joanne from NOLCOM.
DWDD National News.
For other national news, the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee cited Curly Discaya in contempt after finding inconsistencies in his statements regarding the absence of his wife Sara Discaya at the hearing. Sara Discaya failed to attend the inquiry after sending a letter to the committee stating that she had an important meeting with her employees. However, during the session, her husband Curly told senators she was unable to appear due to a heart condition. Senator Erwin Tulfo blasted Curly, accusing him of lying to the committee. Following the exchange, the panel moved to cite Curly in contempt, paving the way for his possible detention at the Senate until he explains his inconsistent statements.
DWDD National News.
Newly installed Speaker Faustino Boji III of Isabella's 6th District vowed to uphold accountability in the House of Representatives amid the flood control project's corruption scandal that left many of his countrymen outraged. D said he will not defend the guilty and he will not shield the corrupt. The House Speaker emphasized that he is an ally of the President in his quest to clean up the government so the country can rise again. D also assured the public that the House of Representatives would work to earn back the trust of the people by pursuing budget reforms, ensuring transparency, and helping address corruption in the country's questionable flood control projects.
Armed Forces Radio.
More updates from Meljoy of First Year G about Tambayan Agriculture Cooperative receives the Philippine Army's People's Organization Award in Tarlac.
Yes, Rofh, the Tambayan Agriculture Cooperative was formally recognized as the recipient of the Philippine Army People's Organization Award during a simple ceremony held at the 3rd Mechanized Infantry Battalion Headquarters in Sitio Pugo, Barangay Burgos, San Jose, Tarlac. The recognition was spearheaded by the 7th Infantry Division Philippine Army in coordination with the 3rd Mechanized Infantry Battalion. The award highlighted the organization's consistent dedication to empowering local farmers, improving agricultural productivity, and fostering sustainable livelihood programs that actively support peace, development, and nation-building initiatives within their locality. The Tambayan Agriculture Cooperative, composed of 32 indigenous members from Sitio Pisapungan, Barangay Santa Juliana, Capas, Tarlac, was established during the implementation of the Community Support Program at the 3rd Mechanized Infantry Battalion. It can be recalled that the cooperative previously received a certificate of recognition from the local government unit of Capas, Tarlac and plaque of recognition for being the best trader and seller organization during the first annual General Assembly of the cooperatives in the municipality of Capas. The members of the Tambayan Agriculture Cooperative, headed by its president, Mr. Alfredo Tiago, expressed their deep gratitude to the troops of the 3rd Mechanized Infantry Battalion for their continuous assistance and guidance, which helped transform the cooperative into a livelihood-generating organization. Meanwhile, the 3rd Mechanized Infantry Battalion reiterate their dedication and commitment to helping people's organizations pursue livelihood projects that uplift the quality of life and contribute to overall community development. This is Meljoy Nasho Arroco reporting for AFP Community News. One AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Meljoy of First Year G.
DWDD National News.
Meanwhile, the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee granted protection to SYMS Construction Trading owner Sally Santos. This after Senator J.V. Ejercito noted how Santos was hesitant to answer senators' questions regarding her earlier claim that contractors in the district are used to borrowing licenses to participate in government projects. Santos paused before responding and asked the Senate to provide her protective custody because she fears for her and her family's safety. She explained that there are so many people driving around their house and she can hardly sleep anymore. Senate President Pro Tempore Panfilo Ping Lacson then agreed to grant her request, but on the condition that she will provide honest answers both orally and in writing.
DWDD National News.
Public Works and Highways Secretary Vince Dizon admitted that he has received reports of more than 100 ghost and very substandard projects in various parts of the country. Dizon said the irregularities were not only found in Bulacan but also in La Union, Oriental Mindoro, Nueva Vizcaya, Eastern Samar, and several areas in Mindanao. Among the contractors identified by the Secretary were SYMS Construction, Wawaw Builders, and St. Timothy Construction Corporation. Dizon admitted that under past leadership, the department failed in its duty to monitor and oversee the projects.
Armed Forces Radio.
More updates from Shaina. 701st Infantry Brigade supports Davao Oriental Outreach Caravan.
Yes, Rofh, the 701st Infantry Brigade and the 66th Infantry Battalion supported the provincial government of Davao Oriental during the nagkakaisang Lingkod Bayan Barangay Outreach Caravan in Lupon. Governor Nelson Dayanghirang and 701st Infantry Brigade Commander Brigadier General Alan Jose Taguba led the event alongside local officials and partner stakeholders. Army personnel provided medical support for the Operation Tuli program, free haircut services, and live band entertainment. Brigadier General Taguba reaffirmed the Army's commitment in sustaining peace and order is now insurgency-free province. This is Shaina Raneta reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Shaina.
DWDD National News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. signed into law a measure allowing the government to declare a state of imminent disaster even before a calamity strikes. Under Republic Act 12287 or the Declaration of State of Imminent Disaster Act, the President may declare a state of imminent disaster over a cluster of barangay, municipalities, cities, provinces, and regions upon the recommendation of the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council or NDRRMC. The declaration covers hazards such as floods, typhoons, droughts, heat or cold waves, and storm surges when these are projected to cause severe impacts. Upon declaration, disaster risk reduction councils at the national, regional, and local levels are authorized to carry out anticipatory actions, such as issuing public advisories, mobilizing interagency response teams, and prepositioning relief goods.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
As that concludes today's broadcast, and thank you for tuning in, especially to our audience on AFP Radio, DWDD's Facebook page. Be sure to join and catch us again next week for more stories and updates, same time and same station. Once again, this is Rofh Suzon-Abay for AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.